Talk to me. Played the whore on the Lord and served other gods. Remember the days of old, we the lost tribes. They don't believe the Bible, they say a white man wrote it, but still celebrate them holidays from white men, don't they? Like Christmas and Thanksgiving appetites. I don't even see my closest family half the time. Going out ain't an option, I won't compromise. I got integrity and more heart than Valentine. Kyrie tweeted a book they sell on Amazon, owned by the same folks that told them to apologize. Remember slaves couldn't read, wasn't allowed, so it's meaning when I tell you I'm black and I'm proud. Murdered us with the sword, that's how we learned religion. Community standards violate my First Amendment. Discontinue from my heritage under these bastards. Life a bitch, they make up lies and give you public lashes. I understand they confused by who the devil is. Why my people get so mad when I tell them this? Valley of dry bones, my niggas skeletons. It's hectic out there, hope you checking on your relatives. Brotherhood, that's what my weapon is. And I never let these crackers take it from me. Real talk, you probably never heard this all of your life. Be careful, cause that thing you love, it'll cost you your life. Long as we got each other, my nigga. Cause we build this shit on brotherhood. Long as we got each other, my nigga.
Yeah.
We build this shit.
Nigga, I done lost family, I done lost friends. Day one, niggas thought was riding to the end. Still showed up, put in that work. Hide behind a smile while I'm walking with this hurt. Some nights I felt alone, most nights I felt cold. Some nights I drove around, I ain't wanna go home. Nigga, I ain't never been, nah, I ain't never fold. Follow orders like a soldier doing what I'm told. Even when the council wasn't making any sense, I ain't never doubted, I just put it to the test. Days I was fucked up and down to my last cent. Reaching in my pockets, only coming up with lint. I'm talking even on the days that I couldn't pay my rent. I put it down for my brothers, ain't spared no expense. If I ever got bent, caused an offense, please forgive your brother, Lord, that ain't what I meant. See that brotherhood a weapon, fight against deception. When something taken from you, then it's just a blessing. Shorty really loved me, gave me everything she got. And I'm sorry, baby girl, if I ever broke your heart. Man, mistakes that I made, don't know if they'll fade. Moving with a heavy heart, living with the pain. Take away the shame, wash away the stain. Praying to the Lord for the days that I was Cain. Sheesh.
Long as we got each other, my nigga. Cause we build this shit on brotherhood. Long as we got each other, my nigga. Cause we build this shit on brotherhood.
All right. Shalom. You and live. I, Isupk, Virginia, Preacher Captain, not Isaac Michelle, getting together to disconnect. Like y'all let me know if y'all can hear me nice and clear there. We should be better now. And to get this connection in. Shalom. Y'all by Shemal Shah Thumb. Y'all Shemal Al Thumb by Shemal Shah to the sisters. I'm getting it on in here. All right. How am I sounding? Nobody responded. How am I sounding, y'all? Y'all can hear me too well? It was a little choppy earlier, is why we had to restart it. All right, let me know. Y'all give me some ones, give me something, let me know y'all can hear me. Check it here. Let's see if we still going out. Let me check. Okay, I got a one. Sister Chanel says she can hear me. All right. Sounds to what? Oh, okay, most sign Christ, because it's looking choppy on my end. All right, we good to go. All right. Biblical scripture breakdown class. There we go to ones. Okay, most sign Christ, the water. All right. We're gonna go ahead and get started. Any questions in the room? We're gonna start off with questions. Any questions? Anybody got any questions there? All right. All right, we're gonna give y'all a moment. Y'all go ahead and type them in if we got any questions. We're gonna start off in the news. In the news, Russia is on its way to Cuba. For those of you that geography or don't know about maps, Cuba is right down by Florida, off the coast, not far from the United States. As a matter of fact, let's pull up a map. Right off the coast of the United States of America. All right, let's get that there. Map of U.S. and Cuba. Let's get it. Map of U.S. and Cuba so you can see the proximity. Russia is bringing a carrier group from its Russian Navy, including a submarine, down to just do a drive-by, to just come on through Cuba, swing through, say hello. I want y'all to see the proximity of Cuba and Russia's destroyers and carrier group that is on its way to the southern border of the United States. The United States has been fighting to make sure that Latin America, for you tenants, the United States is making sure that Latin America has been very weak since the Cold War to make sure of this very thing, that Latin America never gets strong enough to be armed with Russian military equipment, the same way that the United States is arming the Ukraine with American military equipment. Same way it armed the Middle East, the same way they've been fighting to make sure that all of the same things that America does to its allies, it creates naval bases, it creates military bases, it brings in its military personnel. You understand? That same way that NATO, that the United States does with its allies all throughout the world. Well, they wanted to make sure that Russia is not able to do the same to its communist Latin American neighbors like Venezuela, which the United States had driven to the brink of starvation by tanking its economy in the rest of Latin America to make sure that they have no strong neighbors that are independent of America starving them. Let me see if you could just pull up. This is where the Russian military is coming. I'm trying to see if I can get the best map for you so that y'all can see what's going on. What's going on here? This is a better one. I think this is about the best one I found. Let's see if we can make it bigger. You understand? Russia is coming there. Why is this important? Why is this important? Why does it even matter? It matters because of the escalation as to what is happening in the world and the biblical prophecies that are leading up to World War III and the return of Christ. This is exactly between the United States Navy and Russian Navy, but there's controversy for sure. Let me pull it up here. All right. Just make sure that y'all can see it. Of course, y'all got any questions, y'all type the questions in there. I can get to them, brother or sister. Make sure whoever watching, y'all type y'all questions in there. Any questions about the Bible, any questions about scripture breakdown, about anything, just go ahead and type your questions in there. This is where they're going. Our oppressor has never thought that they would have any sort of enemies close to them, to the point where they would be in any sort of danger whatsoever. The same way that America sends its military all over the world, bringing the danger to the enemies. You understand? Well, here's the United States. You see Miami, all of this is Florida. Florida, gigantic. Florida is in the Caribbean. You understand? Florida. And now we go down to Cuba. Y'all see how close Cuba is to Miami. Cuba's very close here, very close to the United States of America. Russia is bringing its naval forces through right around here somewhere. That's where they're going through. And America has scrambled its strike carrier group and sent some destroyers down there, you understand, off the coast of Florida to meet and let them know that, don't come too far this way. It's not friendly neighbors over here. You understand? All right. This is a major escalation in what things are going on there. Of course, all of these things are prophesied in the Bible, and it's prophesied in the Bible leading up to the return of Christ and leading up to World War III, which we are definitely on the brink of. You're watching it unfold right before your very eyes. All right. So now let's go ahead and put that away. All right. Let's go ahead and bring that down. All right. If nobody has any questions, we are going to go back where we were there. We go on to Leviticus. We want to take a look at these laws that the Most High has given us. These commandments, these laws that the Lord gave us, they're very important. They not only contain our history, but they contain our culture and our heritage. Last week we looked at Leviticus, the 19th chapter. All right. All right. All right. So let's see. We go into Leviticus. Now we go into Leviticus, the 20th chapter. All right. We're going to Leviticus chapter 20, and we're going to start at verse 1. All right. So Leviticus chapter 20 and verse 1. And the Lord spake unto Moses, saying, Again, thou shalt say to the children of Israel, Whoso, any strangers traveling through the land of Israel, that giveth any of his seed unto Molech. Molech is an idol. Molech was an old popular idol. I'm going to pull it up so you can get a picture of it. Molech. All right. Molech was an old idol. An old idol here. Yeah, Molech has different names. Was the one of the Egyptians' gods. You understand? One of the Egyptians' gods was Hathor. Hathor, Thor, was represented. You understand? Hathor was represented as a calf. You understand? Let me see if I can pull up so y'all can get a picture of it. Hathor, cow. So y'all can get a picture of it to see. Bear with me just a moment. All right. Hathor Metropolitan Museum, Egyptian god Hathor, the cow goddess. Love, joy, and motherhood. Let me pull up so y'all can get some pictures of it. These things, sir, I meant to share this. Learn something. No sweat. Whoever that is, Amari Hart, just make sure signing for attendance on Facebook. Anybody, of course, got any questions to the brothers, y'all about Shemal Shabbat sisters, y'all about Shemal Shah. All right. So let's see. This was the Lord is separating us these other nations. At this time, we're getting instructions. This black parent does. Make sure you behave. Don't ask for nothing. Don't touch nothing. You're not spending the night. We already ate before we got here. Act like you got some sense. The Lord is giving us those same Black, Latino, Native American mama instructions, parent instructions before you get somewhere to make sure that you don't embarrass me when we get in front of these people. Well, that's what the Lord has given us instructions to do. All throughout the law, what's known as the law of Moses, which is the instructions that God gave to Moses about how we are to structure our nation as a people. So now it's saying anyone that gives his seed unto Molech, meaning to sacrifice his child unto this idol. The heathen sacrifice their children to idols. I'm going to pull up this picture so that you can see Hathor. All right. This was one of the many deities or idols that was in ancient Egypt. This was a cow. Hathor was represented as a cow. These are pictures. Just let me know if y'all can see these pictures here. This is a pretty decent one. All right. Let me see if I can make it a little bigger. No, that's pretty small. There we go. Hathor. This is a picture of Hathor, one of the many deities that they worshipped in Egypt. Hathor The heathens worshipped idols based on what was something that took care of them. If they needed a cow for their crops, then they would worship the cow. If they, because the cow will plow the fields, the cow will fertilize the crops when it drops his waste. The cow, would take care of the land, would stomp it flat so you can do your constructions, all kind of things. Here's another picture, a representation of Hathor. The Egyptians were very, very big on worshiping animals and beetles and bugs and hippos and deities and falcons. The cat was so magical because it could see in the dark and it never landed on its back. Like regular, common, natural things that you and I would see, were like, oh, well, of course it landed on its feet. It's a cow. I mean, it's a cat. Of course, it's used to plow the fields. That doesn't mean it's God because it can plow the fields. But again, the Lord did not give his spirit and the Lord did not give his wisdom and understanding to the other nations of people. So they worshiped whatever it was that they needed to survive. You understand? So they had an idol, and they would sacrifice their children unto this idol. That's where we get human sacrifices from, things like that. That's part of the religion of these other nations of people. It wasn't religion, it was just their customs. Well, the Lord of us does not sacrifice your children to an idol, to another God. You understand? They would literally slaughter their children to offer it up unto this idol. So this is what the Lord said. You understand? This is what the Lord said not to do. All right. Now, when Moses was in the wilderness getting instructions from the Most High, they went and made a golden calf. They made a golden calf or a golden cow to honor the Egyptian gods Hathor, which is that one of the deities that they worshipped in Egypt, because we were following the Egyptians' customs, and the Lord was making us a nation of our own, starting by giving us rules to make us holy or separate from the other nations of people. That's what we're supposed to keep even unto this very day. Hathor. All right. So when it says, thou shalt not give any of his seed unto Molech. Now, Molech, we go again, Molech. Molech. We're going to pull up a picture. Who is Molech? You understand? Another idol, another heathen. Molech. We're going to pull up so you can see Molech. None of these things is anything new. All right. These things are not anything new. It's another pagan deity. The oldest civilizations, you have the old Babylonian gods, then the Babylonian gods, which later became the Egyptians, which later became the Greeks and the Romans. They changed the names. It's the exact same cultures, the exact same deities. You understand, just with different names depending on, you understand, what people and their language, what it means for them and what they were doing with their society. All right. So now we got Molech. Bear with me just a moment. I'll get your picture so you can see Molech. It's another calf or a cow deity again. The Lord is saying not to sacrifice any of your children to them. You understand? Molech was a Canaanite god. The Canaanites are also Hamites. You understand? They were Hamites or so-called Africans. They had their own virgin. The Egyptians were the more prominent of all of the families of them. You understand? Or Mizraim or Montezorium, as some brothers say, Egypt, Moloch, same cattle. Cow sacrificing unto the cow. They worship this cattle. They need it for food, they need it for the land, and they sacrifice their children unto it. You understand? So now we'll get you another picture. This is the Canaanites' virgin. All right. These gods, these deities and things they were not of the same, but they were still about the exact same thing. They weren't something new and unique. All right. The heathens always worshiped the fish because they needed fish for food. They worshiped this because they needed this for food. They used this to plow the land. The Lord was teaching us who the real power is. Who is the power? Who's the one that controls everything? The heathens needed an idol for everything that they had because, like a regular carnal person, whatever I can see, that's going to determine what's right or wrong. I can see the cow. The cow does this and this. The cow is very important. Let's worship the cow. Let's sacrifice our children to the cow. This big cow, like an oven, they would take and sacrifice their children and give them to this idol. They made a golden calf to go back to Egypt in the wilderness. They would slaughter their children and sacrifice them to this idol. They do the same. Child sacrifice is not something new. That's what your abortion clinics are. Your abortion clinics is child sacrifice. You understand? Sacrificing to America, to you having a job, having a career, to being a part of this society. They encourage you to sacrifice your child, just like Oprah did. I had an abortion career. I don't have the money. I'm trying to do something important with my life, get this degree, get this education. You understand? Making some rationale for it. Of course, things in this evil is not as open as they were in the ancient times, but there's still very much child sacrifice. All right. So the Lord is telling us, do not be like the other nations of people. This is what gives their people and their culture power. The Lord has given us instructions, rules that will give our people power. You understand? The Arabs have a God for Arab people. They have a culture around their Arab God. The religion based on their Arab God is for their Arabic people. It's in their language. It has their writings. It makes them the super people. And anybody who wants to join the Arabs' way of life, you are going to empower the Arabs. You understand? The Asians have the same thing. The different facets of Buddhism is to empower the Asians. The oppressor made Caesar Borgia the white image of Jesus Christ, which the Bible says is a black man with a woolly afro as though he burned in a furnace. You understand? It is to empower our oppressor, empower his culture, his finances, his religious ceremonies, which do what? They bring him money. If you're a Muslim and you celebrate Ramadan, you have to go to Mecca, which means you have to bring them money. If you want to love your religion and be a good religious person, you are going to give what you work for to their cause. That's going to build up their religion, that is going to go to someone to finance them. All the believers are going to donate to this religious thing, to building up Islam in this area, to building up Christianity over here, to building up Buddhism and the temple of faith and the altars and the this and the that. Everything is going to build up their people. That is the purpose for God. Everything in life is about race. And when we say race, we don't mean ethnicity, we mean nationality. So-called blacks, Latinos, and Native Americans, God is giving us the rules, the culture to make us one people. Just like every other people has a culture to make them one people. And in any other race of people that takes on the customs and the cultures of that people and their God, they will empower those people. You understand? That's how it works. Life has always been that way. Always. God explained it to us very clear. The problem was our people did not want to obey the Most High. And he told us what would happen if we didn't. He also told us what would happen if we did. We are living the consequence of not obeying him. You understand? Now we're trying to get back to get the blessings of obeying him again. All right, so these were the instructions the Most High gave us there. He said, if anyone sacrifices their child unto Molech, he shall surely be put to death. His life is going to be over. The people of the land, and this is a very important thing. These laws, statutes, and commandments is how you learn God. This is how you learn who God is. This is how you know God. Knowing God is not about what you feel in your heart. It's not about what you feel in your mind. It's not about the songs your grandmother told you to sing when you were a baby. It's not about how you go to the mosque and pray 5 times a day and get that black dot on your forehead from slamming your head on the ground if you're a Muslim. It's not about you saying peace be upon and all of this if you're a Muslim. It's not about you saying I'm blessed and highly favored. Hallelujah. Thank you, Jesus, if you're a Christian. It's not about hollering Haile Selassie, Rastafari, if you're a Muslim, if you're a Rasta, you understand. It's not about any of that. Our knowing God is not about the superficial things that the heathens worship. An animal that I can see, something that will benefit me, something that I like to do. The rabbits are fertile, so we're going to worship the rabbits. It's about these rules that God gave us that are spiritual, that connect us to Him. Precept. By this, we know that we love the children of God, when we love the Most High and keep His commandments. For this is the love of God, 1 John 5:3, that we keep His commandments. And His commandments are not grievous His commandments are not grievous. You understand? So this is what the Lord is saying. This is how we know Him. We keep His commandments. That's how we know who God is. Let's get 1 John 3 and 4 real quick. I want to pull that as well. You understand? All right. Let me see. Bear with me just a moment. Bear with me just a moment. Salaka. However, we do. Hereby we do know that we know Him. This is how you know God. You understand? That's why the whole Bible is saying the voice of God. This is the voice of God. Salakia. 1 John 2 and 3. 1 John 2 and 3. This is what it says. And hereby, meaning this is how we know that we know Him, if we keep His commandments. Keeping the Lord's commandments is knowing God. That's why He gave us these rules. There's nothing you have to guess about. You don't have to be able to dance. You don't have to be able to sing very well like they teach you in church. You don't have to be rich and live an alternative lifestyle and wear purple. You understand? You don't have to be a rich man. You don't have to be a poor man and sell everything that you have like the Buddhists. You understand? This is what it means to know God, to keep His commandments. That's why He's given such detailed instructions, because this is what it means to be the people of God. This is who we are supposed to be. This is what's in your blood. This is your DNA. This is your family lineage. This is the code. Everybody searching 23andMe and find my ancestors so you can pay the FBI database to collect your DNA to tie you and your people to some crimes you didn't commit, thinking that you related to some white man because that's whose last name you have, because we spent hundreds of years in slavery. And now because you are Richardson and Jenkins and Jefferson, you think that the damn Jenkins and Jefferson up in Ireland or Scotland is your family name, when really they just had your people in slavery. Your name is, you understand, Kazak Ya'ala or something, or Dan Ya'ala. You understand, Bun Bun Yumyan or Bun Yashakar. You understand, Bun Zabalawan, Bun Yahawada. That's your name. You're not related to your name. You understand? That's why you get new names when you come into the truth, so that we can rebuild our people as a nation. And that's what these laws are supposed to do. Knowing God is keeping His commandments. So now, what I wanted to highlight that point to show you this. Knowing God has never been about you personally. You understand? That's the exact opposite. Knowing God has always been about the rules God gave you concerning how you behave and deal with your people. That's why it's written this way in the law. And that's also why the Lord told Moses to tell the people and didn't tell the people to just read it for themselves. You can't just pick the Bible up and magically know what it says. It's not a graphic novel. It's not your favorite comic book. It's not your favorite mystery, you understand, or your favorite romance novels or whatever type of books that you've heard of or like to read, your thriller, your action adventure books. The Bible is not like that. You can't just pick up the Bible and know what it's talking about. You understand? You have to go to a man that God appointed to teach you the Bible. You understand? So that's what the Lord said there. So now, Leviticus chapter 20, and I'm going to read it from the top, verse 2 again. And it says, again, thou shalt say unto the children of Israel, whosoever he be of the children of Israel, or of the strangers that sojourn in Israel, the people that's traveling through, that giveth any of his seed unto Molech. You understand? How will they give their seed unto Molech? You have to have somewhere around to sacrifice to Molech. Anyone that does this, he shall surely be put to death. the people of the land shall stone him with stones. Meaning, this judgment, why is the Lord saying that? Because this judgment is not just something that is going to destroy this people. It's not going to just destroy that child. It's not going to just damn. Of course, the child is going to be destroyed because you're getting ready to slaughter the child to sacrifice to this idol. You understand? Now, most people would say, who would sacrifice a baby? Who would do that? That's such an evil thing. That can't be real. That is real. It is absolutely real. You don't know the culture of these other nations of people and what they do to children. You understand? The Lord told us that the other nations were beasts of the field. He told us, don't be like them, don't act like them, don't worship their gods, because a part of taking them on, you will take on their customs and their culture. You will behave like them. That's how we ended up getting hooked on drugs and becoming robbers and murderers and drug dealers and drug addicts and getting high, and women dressing like men and men dressing like women and thinking that men and women are equal. And you understand, and taking their ideas of marriage, their ideas of right and wrong, you understand, and feminism and abortion and all of these things there that the Lord told us never to take the customs of the other nation. The reason why it's explaining that the people are going to stone whoever tries to sacrifice that child unto Molech. I just want to do some thinking exercises here before we go forward. Why would the Lord say that the people are supposed to do this? How would he say that? You already got officers that's in charge that's supposed to exercise the judgment, but it doesn't say that the officers shall stone him. It says the people shall stone him with stones. Why does it say the people shall do that? Why does it say that? Who knows? Who want to give it a shot? It says the people shall stone him. Why doesn't the Lord just put him down himself? The Most High kills and he makes alive. He brings lightnings and opens up the earth and swallows people up. He sent the death angel through Egypt. He sends plagues, heart attacks, strokes, wildfires. He flooded the earth, unalived everybody but 8 people. He sent lightning, sent thunder, sent heart attacks. Why did the Lord say the people shall stone him? Why did the Lord say this? You understand? And it's a very foreign concept now. And it's a foreign concept to our people because of how Christianity has put this hyper individuality inside of our people to think that every one individual is the most important thing in the world. Like every individual, what you want as an individual, what you want to do, what you feel like doing, what you think is your right to do, supersedes everything of any sort of consequence or action or the effects that it's going to have for anybody else around you. You understand? All right. Who wants to? Okay, brother Prashad, I see you. I see your question, Prashad. I'm gonna come to it in a minute. All right. Officer there says, okay. Who wants to give that a shot? Who wants to give that a shot? Why does it say that? This will affect the people. All right, that's a good answer. Let me get some more answers. All right. This will affect the people. There you go. There you go. All right. This will affect the people. You absolutely right. It will affect the people. You understand? Why is everybody supposed to see this? You understand? Give y'all some time. Type in there. Let's get those brains thinking. All right. What's the Lord say this? Oh, the Lord say this here. Who else in here? Come on, y'all. Come on, y'all. All right. Nobody got any questions on any scriptures there, huh? All right. You should. We gonna get the camp. Don't be messing up. You understand? Shared responsibility to keep out sin. That's correct. Unlike the way that it is now, that is absolutely correct. That's an excellent answer. Serving another God destabilizes the entire community. The people of the land are responsible so that the people will know its consequences for sin. Absolutely right, sis Anna. That's correct. Right now, there are no consequences. Esau has to come and issue consequences for sin. You understand? For our people. The people of the city, it is your responsibility to make sure that the city does not get out of hand. You understand? It's not someone from an outside city supposed to come to your city to make sure that everything is all right over here. It is your responsibility to make sure that the people that you allow to come to your city, the people that you allow to come into your homes, the people that you allow to come into your neighborhoods, the people that you bring, and the people that travel through know that this city is an upright city. I can't come here and sell drugs. I can't come here and kidnap people. I can't come here and find easy women to have sex with so that I can just leave after I have fun with them. I can't come here and rob. I can't come here and set up idols and temples to other gods of other nations. I can't come and set up shop over the top of these people because the city is spiritual. The city is paying attention. The city is on shamar for what happens in here. The men are paying attention. They're raising their sons to be men of consequence. They're raising their daughters to understand the consequence of actions, that all things be done decency and in order. And if you allow one evil man to come and sacrifice his child to Moloch, then Moloch has a right to your city. The idols and the people that will worship that idol, they will have a reason to come. Just like if somebody starts prostituting out of one of the houses in your apartment complex, and the couple of one woman get there, she decides she want to start selling tail out the house. Before you know it, you're going to start to see all kind of traffic around your neighborhood. You're going to see people hanging out that don't live there. You're going to see people coming and going all hours of the night, literally and figuratively. You understand? You're going to see a whole bunch of stuff happening. Next thing you know, you might see other girls, other women who want to sell tail in the neighborhood. They might think that your community is the strip. Next thing you know, they're having parties in the house. Next thing you know, somebody's selling tail over there at that house. They selling tail in the alley. This way you want to go. If you want to get your business started, you understand, you come drop them off in this neighborhood. And next thing you know, the people that want to find prostitutes to have sex with, they will come to this community because this the strip now. This the zone. This where you come to get it. Guess who else is going to come to this area? The drug dealer. You understand, ain't no rules here. Well, we should sell drugs here too. People want to get high. They want hoes. They definitely want to get high. You might want some pills, might want some weed. Guess who else is going to start coming to the neighborhood? The people who want to buy drugs. You understand? You turn it into the strip, turn it into the trap. Anybody now, guess who else want to come here? They want to turn it into a hood now. They want to claim this as part of their territory. Gangs going to come and start to claim this place now. You understand? What are they rapping about in your music? We committing crime. Guess who else is coming? People who want to rob people bringing cash to pay prostitutes. You got the jack boys coming. People who want to rob the drug dealers are coming. People who want to rob the drug addicts are coming. People who want to do some kidnapping now that the neighborhood is full of prostitution and is full of drug addiction and is full of crime. This is the perfect place to go to kidnap somebody. Nobody paying attention. Obviously, nobody gives a damn about this community. Otherwise, they wouldn't allow prostitution and drug dealing and gangbanging through here. Since nobody gives a damn, you understand? They just arrested a judge in Oklahoma, charged for traveling through the black community, getting in drive-bys. White oppressor driving. He's a judge now, federal judge. He's driving through the black community, from his state to other states so that he can go where he knows the people here, they about shooting people. They about having drive-bys. They about that action. They got a reputation. This is where you come. There's no laws here. There's no rules here. You want to snatch something, take something, shoot something, jack something, rob something. You understand? Now the whole damn community goes to lawlessness. And the people in the community, the people being raised there, guess what they're going to do? If they're not going to stand against it, what are they going to do? They're going to either accept it or they're going to move away. Now, what happens when everybody moves away from the black community that's full of crime? The property value drops, the policing goes up, the people that's too poor to afford to live somewhere better, where the people take care of the community, they're stuck there. So now while you going to work trying to raise your kids in an affordable neighborhood, guess what's happening? The neighborhood is teaching your sons and daughters that this is what life is about. Hoeing and getting high, and gang banging, prostituting, jacking, stealing, Kia boys, thugging it out. This becomes the neighborhood. This becomes the city. Everybody knows the city like that. Everybody knows the city like that. Richmond didn't start off the way that it is. Norfolk didn't start this way. Black people didn't get out of slavery and make these free black towns filled with black people coming out of slavery trying to develop and catch up to themselves, making HBCUs and schools and inventions and families and building up roads and railways and bridges and agriculture. They didn't do that just so that, okay, we got all of this now. Let's start gangbanging and prostitute. Let's start getting high and smoking up all of our money and turn our community into the trap. That's not how it started. You understand? But the more and more, which was the point of these laws, we started to take the customs of the other nation, the more and more we became accepting to the culture of the other nations of people. And this is what the Lord warned us about, that we did not understand. It seemed like it's fun at the time. It's fun getting high. It's fun skipping school. You understand? It's fun doing the ditch party. It's fun sneaking out. You understand? They used to call it being fast. You understand? It's fun and games until you end up 14 years old and pregnant. Until you end up 14 years old getting somebody pregnant. Until you start selling drugs and then people that this is your fast money, but here comes some robbers. Here comes some jackals. You just want some money. Well, they want your money too. And if you don't give it up, they're going to take it. But they want to get a reputation for their gang. You selling dope over here, we need to get a reputation. We got shooters in my crew. We got shooters. We got robbers, you understand? We got robbers. We got people that put a strap in your face and take it, that let the Draco loose, that let the switches loose in the neighborhood. We got that in my crew. How do they know? They're going to turn your neighborhood into their territory. You understand? It's a domino effect. It's a whole, that's why the people of the city are going to stone them, because the people are going to make sure that their city is right before the Lord, that their city is upright, is keeping the laws, is not falling apart. You understand that everybody knows you cannot do this here. This place has rules. We have families. There are men on guard. The Lord is here. The Lord is a man of war. And if anything violates the spirit of the Lord in this place, we are not going to risk the Lord leaving us while these enemies are waiting to devour us as a people. You are going to go. We are not going to allow everything to be destroyed. That's what the Lord wants. That's the spirit of God. And this was the spirit to make sure that if anybody thought that they would test the system, everybody would learn this is not something that's allowed. The children would know. The adults would know. The elderly would know. The women would know. The men would know. The other cities will know. The other nations will know. Everybody knows what part of town not to go to. Everybody knows what neighborhood got a reputation for doing what. Well, the Lord wanted our entire nation to have a reputation that we serve the Most High and we keep these laws. And these laws that the Most High gave us are so righteous and so upstanding that their God is so close to them, unlike this cow that we pray to. unlike this rock that we pray to, unlike this lion that we pray to, these statues that we pray to, they have a real power over there. And we can't do anything to them except they violate their power. This is what the Lord told us. This is what would make us strong. This is what God gave to Adam. You understand? All right. So let me just finish out this. I see we got some questions in the chat. I want to get to y'all. Give me just a moment. I got you, Quashar, Ecclesiasticus chapter 10. All right, but this is what it was saying in Leviticus 20, that the people of the land would stone him with stones. Everybody's going to pick up a stone, and the judgment of the Lord is going to come from the people. You understand? Because if you set up your God in this neighborhood, eventually I'm going to have to get into some argument with my wives about why we can't have Christmas, because you bringing Christmas into my city. And then Urash is going to have an argument with his wife and his children. And Yagadah is going to have an argument with his rib and his children. Well, they got gifts over there. Why can't we have a tree? Why can't we put up the tinsels and the decoration? It's just a song. It's that time of the year. You know, they do this every time of the year. Before you know it, the houses are divided. People trying to sneak away to have freedom and individuality and my choice. And I'm my own person. And I'm make my own decisions. Before you know it, we are a whole damn city where everyone is an individual. No one is together. Everybody thinks and believes something different. Everybody worships another God. And when the Arabs come, they are together as a team. They have one God. They got one culture, one goal, and they're united. When the Chinese come, they function as a team. They got their Chinese culture, their Chinese way of life, their Chinese gods. And then come the Greens with the same. And then come the Vietnamese with the same. Then come Nigerians, come the Ethiopians, then come the Greens, then come everybody. And before you know it, the people that think everyone is supposed to be a goddamn individual is all struggling everywhere. And the people who aren't individuals have all businesses in the community where all the goddamn individuals live. And these people are struggling to live, and everyone else is playing a team sport, winning, taking over everything that we are supposed to have. This is exactly what happens. This is exactly where we are right now. And that's why the Spirit of the Lord is about us, not you. It's not about you individually. It's about us as a people. That's why the people are supposed to stone him. Now, of course, we're not saying go stone anybody now. We're not saying to go unalive anybody. We're not advocating any violence for any nuts, any of you people who are not in the school that don't know the Bible, that think you're going to sit in class and say the Isupk says all to understand what the Lord gave us instructions to do, see properly with the Spirit of the Lord right now. This is so we can make sure we remain a nation despite what is happening at the time, to keep us a nation. That's what these rules, that's what these laws are for. All right. So let me get some of these questions. I got Quashar with Ecclesiasticus, chapter 10 in the Apocrypha, and verse 30. All right. So Ecclesiasticus, chapter 10 and verse 30 says, the poor man, he's poor. He's honored for his skill. If you're a poor man, in order for you to be looked at as something honorable, you have to be able to do something. You understand? Right now in America, black men are looked at as poor men. That's why they ask you, what do you do? You understand? What do you do? What benefit can you have to being around here? You understand? Black people really aren't wanted anywhere, especially black men. You understand? That's a poor man, his skill. What can you do, poor man? Can you throw a basketball? Can you dunk? Well, we'll make you rich, poor man. Can you run track? Can you run very fast? Well, if you can run very fast, we'll make you rich, Usain Bolt. Otherwise, you'll be a poor man in Jamaica that no one will care about. But because you have a skill, you run fast. Now we care about you. Poor black man in the ghetto, can you dribble a basketball? We won't care about you unless you make it to the NBA, unless you can hoop, unless you can dunk. We won't care about you. Single mothers trying to raise your sons in the ghetto, trying to keep them on the right path, like Kobe Bryant, like what's his name, like Shaq, like LeBron James. We won't care about you being in on the rough side of town trying to make it. We don't care what happens to you, but you can ball. You got a future, son. You're not like the rest of them. You can do carpentry. You can solder pipes. You're an electrician. You can sing. Oh, you can sing? Your son can sing. He can dance. He can twirl. Joe Jackson. Your son is Michael Jackson. Your son is Prince. Oh, he can twirl. He can play the guitar and twirl in a circle. Oh, my goodness. He's something special to us because he's poor, but he has something. He has a skill. You're a poor black man in the ghetto. Look how hard he punch. You know what? Young Mike Tyson, you here in this ghetto, but you have a skill. I can take your skill and make you something great. I can make you a fighter. Otherwise, without that skill, you'll just be another brother going back and forth to jail that nobody cares. Joe Biden wants to give you the maximum amount of time. The judge just wants to go to lunch. He's tired of having to deal with your problems. Your mom is in the court crying. My son is really a good man. Just give him another chance. Everybody's tired of it. Your teachers are tired of dealing with it. They're running out of money. The funding is getting cut. They're using their own money. Nobody comes to the parent teacher conferences. Everybody's tired of dealing with it because you're poor. But if you're a rich man, they'll wait for you. They'll be inconvenienced for you. They'll hear you. They'll give exception to you. You understand? Some poor brother in the hood beating on his woman. Guess what? They're going to call the police. The police are going to come and jump up and down upside your head. They're going to beat you with nightsticks and pepper spray, bruise your rib, knock your jaw, let the dog bite you all up, put some teeth in your tail, teeth in your leg, teeth in your arm. They're going to throw you in the cell. They're not going to let you wash your eyes or nothing unless you pass out. You're about to die. You understand? But if you're P. Diddy, you can beat the hell out of a woman and kick her down the hallway. Everybody fine. You understand? Let's give him a chance to explain himself. You understand? If you get caught trying to have adult relations or actually having sexual relations with children, they're going to do terrible things to you when you get arrested. Terrible, terrible, terrible things to you. You better go to protective custody. You're in for a terrible time. You understand? But if you're R. Kelly and you can afford the right legal team, you can have sex with all the eighth graders that you want, all throughout the 90s, all throughout the 2000s, all the way up until people get fed up enough of it or it's time to bring you down. You understand? Then all of a sudden, you're a poor man now. You don't have those wealth and those riches, and nobody cares about you anymore because you're poor. That's what this is saying here about wisdom. The poor man is honored for his skill. You're going to need to do something to be honored if you're poor. And the rich man is honored for his riches. Just because you're rich, you'll get an invite. You are here because you've worked your entire life building up this skill. You would just be another sister in the ghetto, but you studied, you struggled with the bad light and the bad heat in the ghetto, the bad AC, the poor teachers. You studied to get those grades. You studied to get on the honor roll, or you studied to get your GED. You studied to do the night school. You studied to go to college. You studied to get your certificates. You did your residency. You did this. You did that. Well, now that you've done all of these wonderful things, you get to sit at your company's conference after you have the right skills, the right resume, the right grades, you in debt for the student loans, you done put your whole life on this path from being a poor sister or a poor brother that no one cared about. Guess where you get invited to? You get invited to the honorable annual company so-and-so event where the rich man whose name the event is named after is just because he's rich. It's Trump's event. He's done nothing. You've worked your entire life to earn an invitation to the event. Make sense? You see what the scripture is talking about? The rich man is honored just because he's rich. You're only here because you've worked your entire life and you got an invite by chance because of your skill. You understand? He that is honored in poverty, meaning if you are honorable in poverty, when you don't have much in wealth and power and riches, if you're honored in poverty, how much more in riches? Once you actually get some riches and some authority and some wealth, if they loved you when you were poor, how much more will you be loved after you gain some riches? And he that is dishonorable with riches, if you are poor, grubby, scheming, stealing, dishonorable, have sex with your girl when your buddy goes to work, you understand, stealing out your friend's house, borrowing stuff, not giving it back, talking trash about your friend that's helping you out, you dogging your friends out, you're just a dishonorable, no, you understand, immoral snake when you're poor. You understand? And he that is dishonorable in riches, meaning if you're a dishonorable man known for your evil in riches, how much more will you be dishonorable when you're not rich? You thought this was an evil man when he had money. Wait till he doesn't have money. What is he going to do to get that cocaine when he don't have the millions to buy the cocaine? He's going to rob. He's going to prostitute himself. He's going to kidnap. He's going to sell dope. He's going to lie to his mother. He's going to lie to his friends. He's going to go and get PPP loans. He's going to get scams. He's going to do whatever he can underhanded, meet me after midnight under the table, meet me around back type of stuff. He's going to do whatever he can now that he's not rich anymore. That's what the scriptures are saying there. All right. So that's pretty straightforward. Just let me know, Kushal, if that answers your question. I'm gonna move on because we got a lot there. Just let me know if you need some more. I'll break down some more. Just let me know. All right. Officer Yagadar, I thought he had a question. All right. Okay. Officer Yagadar said Salak can get a breakdown of Jeremiah 31 through 33. Does inward parts refer to your spirit? Yes. The inward parts is referring to your spirit. That is correct. Meaning you're going to keep the law. I'm going to break down the scripture what it's talking about. But you're going to, before you had to keep the law, because if you sacrifice your child to Molech, this wasn't my body, my choice. I don't want this baby, and hey, I underbar, well, you no sweat. I don't want the baby. I'm gonna just go ahead and unalive it. I'm gonna get rid of it. It's not your choice. You wasn't supposed to sacrifice your child to Molech. Everyone is going to throw rocks at you until your spirit goes back to the Most High, and they're going to take your battered, knotted, and bloodied body and put you in an evil place where wicked men and women are buried, not in a good, honorable place. You understand? Just as a sidebar, Christianity likes to get the preacher to stand at the gravesite and freestyle and talk about how wonderful everybody was and all of that. That's not our culture. You understand? If you died a wicked man, you are buried in a wicked place. You aren't going where everybody else who's righteous and upstanding, you aren't going to the same place. You were some old evil cat that did some wickedness, you understand, and you did something that caused a curse to come on the nation, or you unalived somebody, you did something terrible against the nation, against your people, against your brothers and sisters, against the Most High. You were buried in a wicked place for sinners, not in the place where everybody else would get buried. You understand? You are not honored just because your life is over. If you were an evil man, you don't become an honorable man now that your life is over. If you were an evil woman, you were not rewarded with a nice, wonderful cremation is not lawful. Law, sister, no. Cremation is not lawful. Your body is supposed to be put back into the ground. You understand? Cremation is not lawful. No, that's not our culture. All right. All right. But yes, you were put into a place where sinners went, in an evil place to be buried, so that everybody knows there the reason why you being put over there is, you understand, is because of some evil that was done. Some evil that was done. Hey, I am the boss, sis, no sweat. All right. You don't get to be an evil monster and a tyrant. And now, because you're gone after years of shooting up Portsmouth and shooting up Norfolk and shooting up Hampton and shooting up Richmond and robbing people and doing carjackings and dopes and pimping and getting high, you understand, and just being an evil monster and a tyrant. And now, because you're dead, everybody's supposed to sing songs and you get buried in the same place with everybody else. Not in our culture. In this evil society, yeah, everybody going in the same ground, but no, you going in the sinner's place. You understand? The community is much better off without you shooting and robbing everybody. You understand? The Bible is not magic. God was raising us up to be people of a law, of consequence, of morals, of spiritual people, to have his spirit full of judgment and justice and righteousness and honorable. You understand? And being a dishonorable person is not acceptable. You could not stay one of us. You could not be one of us. You had to go now and live your life underneath of a heathen. You couldn't stay in our land. Your children had to leave with you. Your wives had to leave with you. In many cases, your house might be burned to the ground to make sure that there was no trace of you and your evil family that would have had the Lord unalive us all, because you must worship the God of another nation, because your desire to have an interracial marriage is more important than all of the families of your people. Your desire to get high and worship the Hindu goddess Shiva is more important than all of your people being cursed by the Most High, because you must smoke weed. You must smoke opium. You must worship the other nations. Well, you have to leave here, or the people are going to stone you and your family and then burn all of your stuff so that there is no remaining trace of any of you and your evil, so that the Lord will not turn against us all because of what you did. That's what the law. And the spirit behind it is not to have to keep burning everybody's house down for being wicked. The spirit behind it is, I don't want to be this person that is going to dishonor all of my people. I don't want to be this person that will dishonor all of my family, that will dishonor all of my nation, that will bring an evil name upon my city, that will bring an evil name upon my father in his name, that will bring sorrow and suffering and heartache, because the reputation that is being built is destroyed because of my action. If you were a wicked son who disobeyed your parents, you did not get to be a wicked teenager that disobeyed your parents. If you were some drunk, nobody could tell you what to do, you don't listen to your mother, you don't listen to your father, you would never get to grow up. You wouldn't get to be a bad, hard-headed 10, 15, 20, 12-year-old that grows up to be a 16, 17-year-old that will not obey his parents, that's unruly. The end of, you get 13 years. You get 14, 15 years. They're not going to conceal you fighting your mother, fighting your father, cussing out your parents, throwing stuff in the house, skipping school, starting fights, stabbing people, stealing. You don't get to grow up that way. You won't get to continue living that way. They're going to drag you out of the city and stone you, so that every teenager knows we can't go around stealing cars. You see what happened to Ricky. We can't go around disobeying our parents. You see what happened to JJ. We can't go around getting high and disobeying our parents and slapping our mothers and cussing our father out because he's old and taking money from them and going and hanging out somewhere. You see what they did to Rick. You can't be going against your parents, disrespecting them and being unruly and stealing stuff and being fast. You see what they did to Charmaine. You see what happened to Maria. You seen they stoned Jocelyn. Yeah, Jocelyn's out there having sex with everybody, wouldn't listen to her parents, cussing her mother out, all in her daddy face. I'm grown. You don't tell me how. No, no, no. They stoned her. She gone. She gonna wake up a baby and try it again. You weren't allowed to just be unruly and free to do and dress and act and say however the hell you wanted. Your life would be over. You wouldn't get to grow up. You were never allowed to do that. Being influenced by the other nations of people And their idea of morality, spirituality, justice, and right or wrong, that's why you got gangs filled with 200 kids just shooting up your city. That's known for stealing Kias all throughout the city. Call them Kia boys. In the 90s, they were stealing Toyota Camrys and Honda Civics. You understand? You weren't allowed to grow up that way. They were going to put your light out to make sure that the entire city did not get inspired by you to go steal cars as well. You understand? Like that was the Lord's solution. The spirit behind it is to make sure I don't be some evil gremlin terrorizing our community. Now, being a gremlin is a good thing. Being a gremlin, you Kodak Black, you little baby, you young thug, you little Dirk, your OTF. You understand? Being a gremlin is a good thing. You're a demon, you King Vaughn, you're a superstar. Like that is the opposite of the spirit that the Lord wanted. Nigh means close to. Nigh is an old Quaker English word, sister. It just means close to. Nigh. That means near or close to. All right. Let me get your question, Yagadar. Let me pull the sisters real quick. You said Deuteronomy 22 and 2. I'm gonna come to your question, Yagadar. All right. Deuteronomy 22. Let me see. Right. Deuteronomy 22 and 2. If thy brother be not nigh unto thee, meaning if they're not close to you, if your brother is not close to you, or if thou know him not, meaning if you don't know him, then thou shalt bring it unto thine own house, and it shall be with thee until thy brother seek after it. Thou shalt restore it unto him. What is it like? You lose your ox, your goat, something like that. Yeah, that's it. Your brother's sheep or ox. It's like if you know a brother's ox, if you know a brother's cattle or something wandered off, usually they brand the cow's ear so that the cow has a registration so cows can wander, they can get lost. Might be, you understand, an ox. Your brother needs it to plow the field, to put his corn, all of your field. We had lots of agriculture. It might be strange now because we don't do farming and cropping like that, but we had lots of agriculture as a people. You understand? We had an ability to feed ourselves, which we are going to get back to doing because these grocery stores are going to be empty in just a minute. You understand? Russia down the street at Cuba with nuclear subs and destroyer groups. Get ready to meet the U.S. Navy destroyers right off the coast down there by Florida right now. You understand? So we going to get back to growing our own food again, but we're going to get back to not eat. You understand? All right. So, but that's what it's saying. If your brother, the ox wanders, you see the ox, the ox got a tag in his ear or something in his nose. They put the bells in the cow's nose so you can hear it when it's wandering off. You got a registration on there. I know that this is Yagadar's ox. Yagadar's ox is way out here on the road somewhere. I'm going to keep it, feed it, and take care of it. But I don't know him. I know that this isn't one of my oxes, but the ox got a brand, a label on him. So I'm going to keep him, take care of it. Later on, a day or two or something, word around the city, the neighborhood, wherever, you understand, a brother say he lost his ox. What's the brother name he looking for? We send word out to whoever, hey, your ox is over here. You understand? I'm going to hold on to it. You understand? So that a brother could be safe. Just imagine that ox is something important to your life, like your wallet. Imagine if you drop your wallet somewhere and you don't know who has your wallet. But somebody in a general area, they're not close to you, but they got your wallet. Well, I can't find, I don't know who this is. I don't know this brother, but I'm going to just hold on to it until somebody call for it or something. I might even go, or I see an address here. I'm going to go there and say, hey, you so-and-so? Is this such and such? Yeah, okay. Well, listen, I found your wallet here, something like that. Do you imagine the amount of weight that would leave off of a brother or sister's shoulder that, damn, my wallet, my driver's license, my ID, my card, like my everything is gone. I got to get all new this and this and that. And then here come your brother to relieve you in your darkness. Here come your sister to relieve you, as opposed to how we look at each other now, that most of these problems and the bad situations that I've experienced is because of my brother. It's because of my sister. It's because he stole my car. It's because they shot my cousin. it's because she did this, he did that. It's usually something negative. Well, now your brother would be known as your relief. Your sister would be your relief. You understand? That's how it was supposed to be. That's how the Lord wanted it to be. And that's what we building to get back to through the spirit of the Most High and the Isupk. All right. So that was a sister question. Let me get to you, Yagadar. Jeremiah chapter 31 and 31. All right. It says, behold, the days come, meaning this is in a future. Behold means look. So in a future time says the days come, saith the Most High, that I will make a new covenant with the house of Israel. The house of Israel was removed from being the children of God in Hosea, the first chapter. That's what Officer Call Sapar asked last week in the scripture breakdown class. They served idols, and this completely threw away the Most High. The Most High said, fine, you are on your own, but in the future, you will get an opportunity to come back and be my children again. But right now, I'm disowning you. Well, the Lord said here, this is a prophecy about the New Testament, about the new covenant. I'm going to make a new covenant with the house of Israel and with the house of Judah. The house of Judah was the southern kingdom, Judah, Benjamin, and Levi, or known as the Jews. Jew is short for Judah. You understand? The house of Israel was known as the northern kingdom, which was so-called Latinos, our Hispanic brothers and sisters, and so-called Native Americans. You understand? They made up the house of Israel. The house of Judah was the southern kingdom. House of Israel was the northern kingdom. All right. Now, the Lord said he's going to make a new covenant with us back together, not according to the covenant that I made with their fathers in the day that I took them by the hand. Metaphorically, he guided us like you take your children by the hand to bring them out of the land of Egypt. That is Exodus, the 24th verses 7 and 8. That's the covenant Moses made with the words of the covenant that he read. He sprinkled the blood of the sacrifices on the altar, and then he sprinkled the rest on the crowd of the children of Israel. We agreed to keep the Most High's rules, which is the laws that we're reading now all throughout the old, from Leviticus, Deuteronomy, Numbers, Exodus. That's what we're reading now. These were the terms of the covenant. You understand? He's going to make a new covenant, not the way that the old covenant was made. That old covenant was made with the blood of lambs, of bulls, of goats, with animal blood sacrifices. You understand? Which my covenant they break. We broke the hell out of that covenant. We did not keep our end of the bargain. The Lord told us what would happen. We would forfeit and suffer penalties for violating the covenant. That's why we went into slavery. That's why we in the ghetto. That's why we on reservations. That's why we work for the other nations of people. That's why our children are in foster kids. 1 million of us in prison. We in INS detention centers. Homeless Ukrainians get houses. Homeless Latinos and Haitians sleep on the street. Like, that's why this is going on. All right. Although I was an husband unto them, a husband, meaning a protector, a corrector. I provided, I made sure they were taken care of. I taught them, I corrected them, I kept them out of danger. That's what he's saying. I was a husband unto them. I gave them my name. That's what Yashar Allah means, Prince of the Power. That is our name as a nation, as a family of people, saith the Lord. But this shall be the covenant that I will make with the house of Israel, meaning not like the old one. This is what the new one is going to make. After those days, saith the Most High, I will put my law, meaning these things that we're reading that's written down, I'm going to put my law in their inward parts, meaning inside of their spirit, and write it in their hearts, meaning write it in their minds, and will be their power, and they shall be my people. You understand? And this is why it's saying, verse 34, they shall teach no more every man his neighbor. Nobody's going to teach his brother these laws anymore. Every man his brother, saying, know the Most High, for they all shall know me. Nobody's going to have to tell you anymore, Yagadar, don't eat pork. Sister Chanel, don't eat crab and shrimp. Mataza Kara, we can't be Muslims. We can't be Christians. We can't worship the gods of the other nations. No one will have to tell you you can't, you can't have a divorce. You can't have abortions. You can't unalive your brother. You can't hate your brother in his heart. We can't vote for our leaders. You can't shave your beard and get shape ups. Sister, you can't shave your head bald. No one is going to have to tell you these things because you are already going to have it written inside of you. Because the only people left are going to be the people that will serve the Most High. That's who's going to be left. You understand? Nobody's going to have to say, don't eat pork. We will all know not to eat pork. It's inside of us. It'll be a part of our spirit. You understand? Where before, Christmas was a part of our spirit. Mother's Day, Father's Day, New Year's Day, Easter, that was a part of our spirit. Islam, Christianity, Ramadan, Newports and weed, cocaine, heroin, mollies were a part of our spirit. Voting and protesting and marching were a part of our spirit. You understand? Now, keeping God's law, statutes, and commandments, that will be what is in our mind. That will be what is in our spirit. That will be what guides and governs our lives. No one will have to tell you. You will instinctively know. You understand? All right. So that's what that's talking about there in that Jeremiah chapter 31. All right. We got Yagadar. Okay, Officer. Let me know that answer your question. I'm moving on. Officer Mataz Al-Qarad said Leviticus chapter 27 and verse 2. Let's go to Leviticus 27 and 2. Let's take a look. Leviticus chapter 27 and verse 2. All right. Leviticus chapter 27 and verse 2, it says, speak unto the children of Israel. Tell the children of Israel something. Got that? And say unto them, this is what you tell them. When a man shall make a singular vow, the persons shall be for the Most High by thy estimation. Meaning when a man is going to make a vow before the Lord, you understand? You understand what a vow is? Like he's saying to the Lord, I'm going to do something. Let's get some more to see it. And thy estimation shall be of the male between 20 years old, even unto 60 years old. Right, you're going to estimate, you're going to guess that they're between 20 and 60. Even thy estimation shall be 50 shekels of silver after shekel of the sanctuary. After the money that's in the sanctuary, 50 shekels of silver. They're going to make a vow to the Most High. You understand? Let me see if it gives some examples here. It's giving the weight of how much money. All right. Okay, 5 years. Bear with me just a moment. All right. And it says, and if it be a female, then thy estimation shall be 30 shekels. If it's a female, shall be 30 shekels. It's a different price for the female. Why? Because the male and the female are not equal to God. A man and a woman are not equal. There is no 50-50. There is no equality. There's no gender equality. There's no battle of the sexes. A woman is not equal to a man, according to God. All of this other stuff made a bunch of confusion. That's why women can't win the women's beauty pageant in Maryland because of all the gender equality confusion. Before, if you were a woman, there was things for women. There was women clothes, women this, women that, women competition, the women's version for women to do everything. Now, because of gender equality, you understand that women fought for listening to the oppressor, thinking that that was a good thing. You understand? Because of that, now a man is going to put on a dress and some heels and a wig and some makeup, and he's going to be the top woman in the state of Maryland, and none of you women can win because it's not fair to him that he can't be a woman as well and be celebrated for it because of gender equality and gender fluidity and all of this other goddamn confusion that the Lord clearly makes separate in the law. There's a different price for a woman. There's a different price for a man. There's the woman has to do this. The woman cannot do this. This is what a man does. Man can't do this. This is for women. Woman gets here, man gets this. Woman does this, man does this. The Lord makes it very clear. The Christian church does not make it clear the way that the Lord intended. That's why it's a bunch of confusion and 40 genders now. You understand? But a vow, if a man made a vow before the Most High, saying that the Lord, I'm going to do this. I'm going to do this. If the Lord bless me, if I do this and this, I'll make a vow to the Lord for a certain period of time. I'm not going to do this. And then it's going to be for the Lord. All right. So now we're going to skip down just to get it, because now we're talking about the prices and stuff. But it says, if the estimation, then he shall present himself before the priest. All right. It's like, yeah, I lose my place. Bear with me. All right. Let me skip the estimation of 30 shekels of silver. All right. So we had verse 5. And if it be for 5 years old, okay. All right. Let me scroll up. Some of this you're not going to be able to skip. Okay. If the estimation be of a male from 20 years old to 60 years old. Why is he saying an estimation? Because we don't celebrate birthdays. We don't celebrate birthdays. And because we don't celebrate birthdays, I don't know exactly how old these 6 kids are. I don't know. I'm not counting. I know this one can walk. This one has teeth. How many years ago did we have this? 5, 6, 7. Is it 7? It's about 7 or 8. How old are you? 5, 7. It's about 5. What are you? Let me see. Maybe it's about 7. Oh, 7 years old. 7, 6, 7, 8 years old. Something like that. We're not keeping birthdays. So nobody exactly knows when the hell you were born. Nobody gives a damn. How you're treated now that you're here is important. Not pretending like we love you when we let your uncle and your cousins molest you the whole goddamn year, but now it's your birthday. You're special to me. Nobody gave a damn to make sure that you could, do this and get straight and get to school and not get jumped and robbed and make sure that you're taken care of. But it's your birthday now. It's your special day. Tomorrow, nobody will give a damn. Yesterday, nobody gave a damn. Today, it's your special day. We sing to you and we get a dinner for you. We're going to give you gifts. Maybe you needed a gift last week. Maybe you needed someone to care about you on last Tuesday. Maybe you need someone, to see how you were doing last Wednesday, but it wasn't your birthday. So nobody knew to treat you like they gave a damn because it wasn't your special day. We don't have silly stuff like that amongst our people. You will be expected to be cared for and cared about regularly, not some special event for people to start to treat you decently. You understand? We don't have that. That's fake. That's what heathens do. And that's really just about money and retail. Our people don't understand. We based our whole lives around it. That's why any heathen that has their business open on a holiday, they don't care about you celebrating Christmas. They know you don't want to cook. If you had a decent family, you'd have a table full of food. They know you don't because your family's destroyed. That's why they're selling you 50,000 wings and fried rice on Christmas dinner for you and all your friends. You understand? They know you don't. They know our people are destroyed and they can sell every trinket that they can make, just like they did for the goddess Diana in the New Testament, because your people don't have a culture. So if the Arabs want to sell something, the East Indians want to sell you something, the Africans want to sell you something, the oppressor wants to sell you something, they can all come and get a piece of you at will because you have no culture. You have no identity. Well, this is why. You understand? So we don't celebrate birthdays. It's not our culture, it's against the Most High. All right. So now we at verse 3. If thy estimation shall be of the male from 20 years old, even unto 60, 20 to 60, even thy estimation shall be 50 shekels of silver, after the shekel, the weight of the sanctuary. And if it be a female, then thy estimation shall be 30 shekels of silver. It's less. And if it be from 5 years old to 20 years old, then thy estimation shall be of the male 20 shekels, and for the female 10 shekels. And if it be from a month old, a little tiny baby, unto 5 years old, you understand? Then thy estimation shall be of the male 5 shekels of the silver, and for the female thy estimation shall be 3 shekels of silver. And then from 60 years old and above, you got the geriatric age. If it be a male, then the estimation shall be 50 shekels, and for the female, 10 shekels. But if he be poorer, then thy estimation, poorer than what you guessed, then he shall present himself before the priest, and the priest shall value him according to his ability that vowed shall the priest value him, according to what ability that he has to do. All right. And if it be a beast, whereof men bring an offering unto the Most High, all that any man giveth such unto the Most High shall be holy. He shall not alter it nor change it, a good for a bad, or a bad for a good. And if he shall at all change beast for beast, then and the exchange thereof shall be holy. All right, let me skip down. Let me get some more. All right, it's talking about taking a vow. Sanctify themselves, part of the field, sanctify. All right, bear with me just a moment. A devoted thing. It's talking about like devoting yourself unto the Most High for something. That's where you skip down. It's given a little bit more to verse 28. It's talking about devotions unto the Most High. You understand they have different types of these. One of these would be like the law of the Nazareth. All right. The Nazarites, where you were not allowed to cut your hair or drink any wine or anything from the grapes. You understand? You had to take a vow of a Nazarite for a period of time. You understand? Which was really your parents' responsibility to raise you up. These were very specific things that were done in our culture. Let me see if I got something here. All right, but that's just what it was talking about there. All right, let me know if that answers your question, if it gives you some more. All right, bear with me just a moment. All right, Mataz Akbar, just let me know. If not, I'm moving on in a moment. All right. Zonda Van, see if we get something. VAVI, VO, VI, EV. Probably both. Trying to understand the relationship between taking the vow and the estimations of prices. All right, bear with me just a moment. Okay, I'm looking for oath. Give me just a moment. Oath. One moment. Solemn appeal, personal object to witness the true statement, binding, bear with just a moment. Oath. Bear with me just a moment. I am checking the Zondervan, see if there's some more than what's just there in the scripture. Bear with me just a moment here. Statement, binding, character. All right. So you got an oath. Object witness the true statement of binding character of a promise. All right. Some oaths were simple, some oaths were elaborate. Various formulas, ceremonies were used. Genesis 14:22. Let me check. Genesis 14:22. Bear with me just a moment. Let me check and see what Zondervan is saying. Genesis 14:22. See if it's more in that scripture. Genesis 14:22. Yeah, that doesn't give me anything there. Okay. All right. Zondervan doesn't have any more on that. Let's just keep reading in 27. All right. The man shall make a singular vow. He's making one vow before the Most High. Let's skip down and see if it's got some more information. Bear with me just a moment. Let me check the end of 26. For their sakes, remember the covenant of their ancestors, children of Israel, Sinai, enemies, covenant of Jacob. Okay, nothing else there. And go back to 27. It shall not alter it, change it. Okay. It will redeem it. He shall the fifth part thereof. I might need to get back to you. Might need to ask the channel about this to get back to you. If I don't see any more here in the scripture, I'm just taking a look. Piece for piece, he shall not alter or change it. Sanctify his house to be holy unto the Most High. Priest shall estimate it for the bound. Fifth part of the money to the estimation. Okay. Some part of the field. Barley. Okay, this is dedicating things to the Most High. He sanctify his field, the year Jubilee. Okay. He sanctify his field. After the priest shall reckon it to money according to it. Baited estimation. Sanctified field. What it's talking about, I'm trying to get the very specifics of it to see if it's got some more in here. What it is some many of the things that the Christian church attempts to do are in the Bible. The problem is, number one, they don't understand the Bible. And number two, they don't have the Spirit of the Lord. They're not authorized to do any of the things that's in the Bible. But a lot of the things customarily that you would hear, you understand, the Christians try to do, they have somewhat biblical basis. Like for a certain period of time or something, things were dedicated unto the Most High, and then they were redeemed. I'm just trying to get some more information to see what it is, because it's talking about a lot of things. He's making a vow unto the Most High, and a vow can be about a number of things. It could be something of your money that you're given is appearing to be. You got a vow from your children, like you would dedicate them to the Most High. You understand? I'm just trying to get some more specifically about this one, because I know that the firstborns are dedicated to the Most High, the firstborn son. It talks about dedicating animals to the Most High. It talks about exchanges, dedicating land and fields to the Most High. So I'm just trying to get some more information here. The year, the estimation shall be according to the shekels, the weight, the money of the sanctuary, 20 gerahs in the shekel, the firstlings, the beast, unclean beasts, notwithstanding. It's talking about when you go to verse 28, it's talking about devoting things for to the Most High, meaning to be used by the Most High. As you got in verse 28, it says, notwithstanding, no devoted thing that a man shall devote unto the Most High of all that he have, both man and beast, and of the field of his possession shall be sold or redeemed. Every devoted thing is most holy unto the Most High. Nothing can be sold or purchased back, which is what redeemed means. None devoted which shall be devoted of men shall be redeemed, but shall surely be put to death. Okay. It says, in all the tithe of the land, whether the seed of the land or of the fruit of the tree is the Lord's, it is holy. Okay. what it's looking like is dedicating things for the use of the Most High. And if a man will redeem, this talks about the tithes here. If you redeem some of your tithes, you got to give a fifth part to the Most High concerning the tithe of the herd, the flocks. These are the commandments of the Most High. He shall not search, good or bad, should not change it. Both shall change it to be redeemed. Okay. And the estimation of the male 20 years old, 26, it shall be 50 shekels of silver. Female, okay. Let me check verse chapter 28. If not, I need to get back to you next week. Let me check with the general just to see. Well, there is no 28. What is Numbers 1? Congregation, the second day of the month. 20 years and upward, the children. That chapter is talking about tithes. It's talking about money. It is talking about the tithes, is making sure that the money is done right, that if you give a field to the Most High when you get further down, that all of the seed, whatever is planted on there, it seems like donating items to the use of the Most High. Let me get back with you. Text me this, and let me get back with you next week. Let me see if I can get some more information from the general or possibly Captain Zariak or something like that. I'm gonna get back with you to get a more detailed explanation of this, and then I'm gonna get back with you. All right. All right. So just Matazar Akara, text me this so I can get back with you. I'm gonna check just to make sure that I give you 100% of what it is. Just go ahead, text it to me. That way I can get that question to get some more about that there. All right. So what we're gonna do now? We're gonna go to Leviticus, the 20th chapter. And we're going back to what over here? Damn, I have to deal with it later. All right. Leviticus chapter 20. And we're going back to where we were. We were at verse 2. All right. Someone sacrificed their child unto Moloch, they get stoned. The people of the land shall stone him so that they can put away the evil of the land. It's the responsibility of the people. That's why things don't work. Going out and you see people in the city with t-shirts marching in the streets and trying to talk to the police and all of this and trying to get the mayor involved with the city. That does not work. It doesn't work in the Black community. It doesn't work in the Latino, Native American community. Elected officials are not who fixes our communities. You got to be trained and raised up by the priest of the Lord to teach you how not to raise the Kia boys. You're raising the Kia boys. Your religious leaders are raising the families that produce the Kia boys and the shooters and robbers and jackers and kidnappers. That's the problem with the city. The traitors, the rich that move out, they get blessed in personal salvation. They go and take their tens of millions of dollars and buy mansions instead of putting together resources for the city and jobs and housing and things and better proper education to take care of their people. That's the problem. We don't need a mayor. Virginia doesn't need a mayor. Virginia has Pharrell. Virginia has Timberland. Virginia had Pharrell. Virginia had Missy Elliott. Virginia got Chris Brown. Virginia does not need the mayor to fix the problems in the Black community in Virginia. The Black community, the Latino community in Virginia needs to get in the ISUPK to learn how not to raise the murder, the unalivers, the gangbangers, the drug dealers, the prostitutes, the kidnappers, the people that will have interracial marriages and worship the gods of the other nations that makes the Most High be against us and not protect us. That's what the people need to do. You understand? Everybody else just needs to pay their tithes to Commander General Yohana, and we'll fix the rest of the Black and Latino community in Virginia. You understand? Elected officials can't do that. All right. So now we're going back to Leviticus chapter 20, and we start in verse 3. All right. The Lord said, and I will set my face against that man that's going to dedicate his child unto Molech, just like we dedicate your children unto the Most High. Say, I'm going to raise this child up to serve the Most High. I'm going to dedicate this child to the Lord, or I dedicate this land or this field. Well, the Lord is against this man and will cut him off from among his people. You understand? Because he have given his seed, his child, you understand, unto Molech to defile my sanctuary and to profane my holy name. You giving your children to be sacrificed defiles the Most High. The Most High is holy, he's separate. You understand? The fact that the temple of the Lord stands in the land and you have the audacity to go and set up some worship to another God, that defiles and disrespects the Most High. The Lord said, I will be against that man and will cut him off from amongst his people. That man is no longer one of us. You understand? Verse 4. And if the people of the land do any ways hide their eyes from that and from the man, which giveth his seed unto Molech, and kill him not. This is the important part. You understand? This is where that no snitching rule come in. No snitching, no snitching. Well, if you're a criminal, you aren't allowed to snitch. You aren't allowed to tell. If you're a criminal doing crime and you get caught and your buddy, your fellow criminal does not get caught, you telling on him, that's snitching. But some evil man, which we are not doing crime as a people, because we are supposed to be righteous unto the Most High. Some evil man does something that violates the laws of the Most High, that not only defiles the temple of the Lord, defiles the land, defiles the city, and disrespects the Most High. If you hide him because he's your friend, because he's your cousin, because it's your brother or your buddy, if you hide him for any reason, then I will set my face against that man and against his family and will cut him off and all that go whoring after him. He's saying whoring because we're supposed to be married. We're supposed to be joined to the Most High. This is what Israel is joined to the Most High. You understand? Anybody that goes to serve the gods that he wanted to dedicate his son to, his children to, if you follow them and cover it up to conceal them so that y'all have little basement services, or well, I ain't going to say nothing, but he should be doing that, to commit whoredom with Molech from among their people, you getting put out the land, he getting put out the land, your family is cursed, he is cursed, he's supposed to be unalived. He's not supposed to get to continue living to practice his own religious beliefs. The people are supposed to, hey, he's serving another God, he's trying to dedicate his child to Molech, they drag him, take him out the city, he's supposed to be stoned. That's it. That's the end of him. No more of his lineage, that's it. You understand? But if you cover up and conceal him, temples for Molech might popping up here and there. Children, guess what happens if you don't have children? Guess what happens? Guess what happens if they don't have children of their own? What's going to happen? His religion says to sacrifice children to Molech. Not quite. Not quite. His religion says sacrifice children to Molech. He needs children to sacrifice, but he out of children. So how is he going to serve his God? What is he going to do? Is he going to give up serving Molech because he's out of children? What is he going to do? Yeah, he's going to take somebody else's children. Children going to start going missing all throughout the neighborhood. How many little Black and Latino children are missing all in the Black and Latino community now? Are there a lot of missing Black children all over America now? Missing Latinos, missing Native American sisters, brothers and sisters going missing all off the reservation now? This is what happens when you allow the worship of the gods of the other nations and people. Yeah, he's going to find some children. He's going to find some children to sacrifice. If he got to go take some, he's going to worship his God. Have a nation change their gods? You understand? They're not going to change their gods because they run out of children. They're going to go take some children. You understand? But nobody sees that. You just see him having his own personal religious beliefs. You don't see children going missing throughout your city. You just see, you got your beliefs, I got my beliefs. That's why it's important to come into the truth and stand for the Most High. Michael Jackson worshiped a god called Pan. Pan the Iranius or Iranius. I remember Commander General Yohana breaking this down on the street one day. You understand? Pan. Look it up. Pan the god. This was the god Michael Jackson worshiped. That's what that Peter Pan was about. You understand? Playing that flute. Who remembers Peter Pan playing that flute? Playing that flute, playing that flute. Y'all remember Peter Pan, don't you? Well, Peter Pan, he worshiped, that Pan is the name of a god. It's the name of a god. Playing that flute. That's why Peter Pan played the flute. Seemed like a nice little kid stuff. Peter Pan played the flute. You understand? You might need to be a little bit older to remember Peter Pan. All right. If you're not at least 30 something, you probably won't remember Peter Pan. All right. But Peter Pan played the flute. Michael Jackson worshiped Pan. That's why he wanted to be a damn child all of his life. You understand? Pan is the god of the wild, shepherds and flocks, and the companion of the nymphs. He has hindquarters and legs and the horns of a goat, the same manner as Fawn or Satyr. What did Pan do? Pan was another god of fertility. Everybody worshiping the fertility goddess. Those worshiping them fertility goddesses about having a bunch of orgies, a bunch of lewd sex, and a bunch of sex with children. That's why Michael Jackson had all kind of charges having sex with children, because the god that Pan worshiped, that he worshiped, Pan, qualities all over the world. He's energetic, he's fun-loving, he's childish, he's wild. That's why Peter Pan, none of them had any parents. They're wild and they're fun-loving and doing all of this. They just out there, you understand? All right. His homeland, rustic and groves, and he's often affiliated with sex. Pan is connected to fertility and the season of the spring. And when you go look at this goat god and his statues and Pan teaching Eromenus, you understand, teaching them how to play the flutes. And you got naked little boys hanging out with Michael Jackson, naked little boys hanging out and learning how to play the flute and be wild and have wild sexual desires. And this is Pan. This is the God that Michael Jackson worshiped. See, being in the church, you don't learn anything about anything. There are so many gods that are being worshipped here in this evil empire. That's why the Lord called it Babylon. You understand? This is Pan, just as a sidebar. This is what happens when you take on the customs of another nation. Our people don't know who these gods are. Our people don't know anybody else's customs. The Christian church has taught you everybody bleeds red. We all the same. We all one human family. Everybody is the same. That's a lie. This is what Pan was about. Pan was about male homosexuality. That's why Michael Jackson had all of those charges, sexually related charges with children, little boys. You understand? Let me know if y'all can see it. Let me see how I make it a little bigger. This is what happens when you take the customs of another nation. It seems fun. We just want to hang out and be wild. We don't have any parents. We just wild and flying around. It seems fun. Where did that God come from? Let's get a little bit of it. Let me know if y'all can see it. In ancient Greek religion and mythology, Pan is the god of the wild, shepherd's flock, rustic music, and impromptus, and companion of the nymphs. He has hindquarters and legs of a goat. You always see that goat everywhere. In the manner of Fawn and Satyr, which is homeland of music, and he liked to hang out and chill, and he taught his young people how to play the flute, teaching an Eromenus, meaning the little boys, how to play a flute. He liked to teach and hang out with all the little boys. Well, let's learn what his service was called, Eromenus. Let's get a little bit about the Eromenus. In ancient Greece, the Eromenos was the younger and passive partner. Why was he younger and passive? Because he's a young boy. This ain't a teenager that's going to bust you upside your damn jaw when you try to have sex with him. This is a young little boy. He don't know no better. He's young. He ain't had no type of experiences. He figured you just hanging out and want to do music. And we all having fun and having a good time. That's the same garbage that the LGBT is pushing on the little children now. Well, this is who Michael Jackson worshiped. He want to have the little boys over and have a sleepover at Neverland Ranch. And we wild and we climbing trees and having such a wonderful time. Well, this is Pan. He was the younger passive partner in a male homosexual relationship. He's young and passive. He don't really want to be. He ain't really into this life, but he's passive about it. He ain't standing against it. He don't know no better. He's unsuspecting. He just want to have fun. He want to have a good time. He got his buddy teaching him music. We young and wild. It's no parents around. It's just us hanging out. You understand? And the partner was Erastes, the older and active partner, somebody older to break in the younger one. They used to call that turning you out. You understand? That's what it was called in the hood. Well, the Araminus was often depicted as beautiful and beardless and more youthful looking. He was young and beautiful and youthful, you understand? And Araminus, who was the servant of Pan, who was the young little boy that he was teaching how to play the music, to hang out with all the little boys at his mansion while they do music and have fun with no parents. One who's sexually desired in Greece. The little boy learning the flute from Pan is a little boy who he sexually desires this child. In the Greek language is the past participle of eremai, to have sexual desire in Greek homosexuality. You understand? That's what the whole thing was about. Getting a little boy, having fun, separated from the children. Now we're going to skip down a little bit. Though in many contexts, the younger man called the pais or boy, the word can also be used for child, girl, son, daughter, and slave. The Araminus would be more specific and can avoid cumbrousness and imprecision of a boy. You understand? The masculine counterpart is in love to have passionate desire for this young little boy sexual lover. That's what Peter Pan, that's what that was about. The free and young and no parents and the God of the wild and the goats. That's what Michael Jackson was doing. That was the God, one of the gods that he worshiped. You understand? That's why. That's why he climbing trees, a grown man climbing trees, talk like a little kid, want to be Peter Pan. Bunch of little kids having sleepover at his house all the time. And then here come all the sexual allegations. Mountains and mountains and mountains of sexual allegations. Well, that's what Pan is about. You see what I'm saying? This is what comes with taking the gods of the other nations. Nobody saw that. Nobody thought of that. They just figured we get to hang out with Michael Jackson. What spirit is on him? You don't know how to recognize spirits without being in the truth. You'll think that that's a man of God because he's singing and he growls and he wears a suit and he talk about God and wave the Bible and go to church on Sunday. You don't realize why they have in children's church. Children's church ain't nowhere in the Bible. The Lord didn't give separate laws for the kids that he gave for the parents. The Lord gave laws. You better learn this as a kid. If you mess up and do some of this when you get older, you won't grow up. That's what the Lord wanted. That's how he wanted us raised. And that's why the Lord said that the city is supposed to stone you for taking on the customs of another God. You don't know the customs of these people. You don't know the customs of these people. You don't know who they are. You think you do because you see them every day, but they're able to eat and get money and feed their family. Wait until they can't feed their families anymore. Wait until they don't have, you understand? Wait until they don't have that. All right? Like this is what the Lord was telling us. That's why he said, don't let them in your land. Don't invite them by taking on their gods. Don't marry into their family. This is what the Lord was saying. He was warning us. We didn't know any better. We thought he was just trying to stop our fun. Lo and behold, Michael Jackson's let loose all throughout the community. Here come R. Kelly. Here come Eddie Long. Here come the football, the basketball coach. When before, this spirit wouldn't even find a home in our community because everybody know if you cross this line too much, you're getting stoned. Nobody even risk it. Nobody even has this in their mind. They think, well, maybe I could do this and this and maybe, No, that's stupid. Everybody's just gonna stone you. You wouldn't do that. Like it'll keep the evil spirits out that come with taking the customs of another nation of people. Let's speed up a little bit. We're gonna read a little bit more of these, all right? So then it says in Leviticus chapter 20 and verse 6. That's why you're supposed to be cut off from among your people. If you want to live that lifestyle, you didn't get caught and stoned, you got to go now and live in Arabia. You got to go now and live with the Canaanites. Live in a forest and they woods somewhere, make up some little shanty town where you struggling to exist and try to put together a little culture for yourself down there. Pretend to be one of them. Go take their customs if they let you in. Go down there, but you can't stay here in this holy land amongst us if you want to live this type of life. You get put out. You're no longer one of us. You understand? And that is to protect the entire nation. And that's the spirit that the Lord wanted us to have, to not allow it and not be the brother or sister that would compromise us all and disrespect the Most High. So verse 6 says, and the soul that turneth after such as have familiar spirits. Some are pretending to communicate with the God, with the dead. Oh, I talked to your grandmother. A lot of old Christians do this. I was sitting the other day and I was talking to your grandmother. Have you talked to your mother? Have you spoke to your mother? Have you talked to grandma? You know, I felt a hand on my shoulder the other day when I was talking to daddy. I was wondering, I know him and mama is up there in heaven. And I talked to him and told him about this and that. And they said they seen my little brother and my little brother's best friend. Remember, he got killed when he was 25, and they all up there having a good life. And I said, man, I miss y'all. But see, here's the kids, Gwen. No, you talking, you pretending to talk to someone that's dead. You understand? You got demons on you. You aren't allowed to do that. We miss mama. We miss grandma. We love and miss your cousin and your aunts and uncles and your best friends, but they are gone. You cannot talk to them. You do not talk to them. You're not given, you cannot. They're gone. Their life is over. They will come back. They will rise again in a couple of generations. If you live long enough, you'll get to meet them. They'll be your great great granddaughter, grandson's baby, and they'll have a little girl and a little boy, and it'll be that grandmother or that great aunt or whoever it is that you think you're talking to. That's a familiar spirit. You aren't allowed to do that. You aren't allowed to worship the dead. You aren't allowed to get tattoos in your skin for the dead. Rest in peace, Mama. I'll always love you, Lisa. Rest in peace, TT. Get the date that they were born and then the date that they died. You aren't allowed to print marks in your flesh for the dead. You aren't allowed to print any marks on you. You aren't allowed to paint a mural on the wall to King Von and Big Pun and Pimp C and Big Nate and Smoke and Maria and Javier and Big Smokey. You aren't allowed to decorate the walls and paint murals of deceased friends, loved ones, and family members. You aren't allowed to set up a shrine where you come and put flowers and birthday cards and light candles and incense to the memory of grandma and uncles. You are not allowed to set up an altar to worship another person. You aren't allowed to do that. That's why you can't celebrate birthdays. We are not worshiping you for a day. The day is not dedicated to you. You are not God for a day. We do not dedicate food to you. We don't dedicate a song to you. You're not God. You are not the Most High. Because what happens is over time, you will become an idol. Well, you know, we got to like these, we got to do this for grandma because you know grandma's birthday is coming. We got to have a celebration. Christians having birthday celebration, you know, if they were still alive, they'd be 36 years today. Said he died 15 years ago. Why are you counting his birthdays? His life is over. But if he was alive, he'd be 15 years old now. He'd be 20, he'd be 37. This would have been his 43rd birthday. You gonna come over? We celebrating your uncle's birthday. No, I'm not coming over to celebrate the birthday of someone who's been deceased for over 20 years. Are you out of your mind? These are the spirits that Christianity puts on us. How long are you going to mourn? We cannot mourn forever. You cannot base your entire life around some traumatic event. You cannot stay there. You can't always be of the same hurt that when this happened, it happened like it's yesterday. You can't stay there. You can fight for justice. You can fight to make sure that it doesn't happen to anyone else, but you cannot sit and stay there and allow this pain to just sit and be your friend to the point where it opens the door for a demon for you to always feel sad about it, you to always be depressed about it. It always drives you to get high. You always have to get blackout drunk when you remember how you miss your mother so much. You have to make a choice to accept an evil spirit. It's a choice. The Christian church does not teach you how to fight against evil spirits. If every time you think about your loved one that is passed, you have an option as to what you want to do with that memory. You can sit and get sad and cry tears and go and drink yourself until you pass out thinking about mama and pouring liquor at the grave site. Every time you think about it, you got to get blackout drunk every year. Every year on his birthday, I'm just torn up. You cannot stay there. There's a time and a season for every purpose under the sun. There is a season to be sad and mourn. You cannot stay in the mourning season indefinitely. You must leave that season. There's a time for that. There's a place for that. That doesn't mean you cannot remember. That doesn't mean you can't, but you have to choose what you are going to do with this memory. Is this memory going to be who I am for the rest of my life? Is this going to say that I must ruin myself every year this time comes around, that I must destroy myself? I must get as depressed and as sad as I can? Or am I going to take this memory? You know what? I love and I miss so and so. And I miss them. And we had some good times together, but they are gone now. And we had good times, but they were only allotted to me for a certain period of time. And the Lord decided that that time was over. And yes, there was a time to mourn and be sad for it. And I might remember and be sad for it at a time, but I will not stay here and be sad permanently every single time. You cannot give a demon power over you that way. You have to decide, you know what? She's gone. I understand we love and miss her. I'll do something different with these memories. I'll do something different. I could let it sit and make me depressed and go get blackout drunk until I destroy myself. Or I could take this memory and say, you know what? Whatever this life was that mom or grandma or cousin of my friend, they had that life. And we had these times that we enjoyed, or we went through this, or we went through that. And those times, the Lord saw fit to bring those times to an end. And the Lord saw fit to bring it to an end. I will not stay in them forever. You understand? You have to bring all thoughts unto subjection. You have the ability to decide what you want to do with a thought. You know how many times parents have a thought of breaking their kid's neck? Sit down, get off of that. What the hell are you doing jumping on that bed? Didn't I tell you come here? Sit down. Why didn't you do this? Why didn't you do that? Come here. Don't do that. Don't do that. You get tired after a while. But that doesn't mean you're going to go and drown your damn kid in the bathtub. That doesn't mean you're going to go and just allow them to hurt and destroy themselves. That doesn't mean you have to follow every thought you get in your brain. You don't have to act on everything that you think. You understand? That's the purpose of having a brain, to do some thinking about it. You understand? This place promotes evil spirits, and you, through the Spirit of the Most High, have the ability to not accept and act on an evil spirit. You have that ability. You have it. This society wants to make sure that you remain too weak to fight against evil spirits, but you have that ability. You have it. The Lord gave it to you. That's what the Spirit of the Lord is for, man. And the Lord wants to make sure that nothing breaks the connection that His Spirit needs to remain strong in you by us keeping these laws, statutes, and commandments and having the Spirit of the Lord on us. This is how we do it to keep it. So back with Leviticus chapter 20 and verse 6, it says, the soul that turneth after such as have a familiar spirit, and after wizards. Your pastor is a wizard. He puts a spell on you. You thinking and believing magically. The Christian church is the reason that people believe that they're going to die and live in some pit of fire under the ground, or some sandcastle in the sky with bright lights and lemonades and harps. That is nowhere in the Bible. But the Christian church has convinced everyone Even the people that don't believe they're Christian, they have convinced them that this is what happens when you die, even though it has no basis in any fact, and they made it up as a play during the Renaissance period. They've convinced the entire world. That's why God calls the oppressor the devil that the Bible speaks of. And Christian preachers sell it and convince you of it and convince our people every single week. And it's 100% a lie. You understand? If you follow them that have familiar spirits, that's why when you come into the truth, you got to stop going to church. You can't serve the gods of another nation. You can't go to church. We're going to teach you the gods of the other nations so that you don't worship them. Nobody knew what Peter Pan was about. They didn't know who Pan was. They just saw it was a fun children's play. If you notice, most of the Disney movies don't have parents. I think Andy from Toy Story had parents. Princess Jasmine, she had the father, the mother died. Aladdin had no mother, no father. Beauty and the Beast, Belle had a father, no mother. You understand? If you go to the rest of them, what was that? The one with the dogs, those are just dogs. The Dalmatians, those are just Dalmatians. You understand? Most of them don't have any parents. Just wild and free kids going on an adventure. You understand? Like the Lord said, let all things be done in decency and in order. You understand? So it says if you go after wizards to turn or go whoring after them, I will even set my face against that soul and will cut him off from amongst his people. That's why we're sitting in church, learning all of these religions in Christianity and in Islam. Islam is another one, teaching you to worship all kind of witchcraft and wizardry. And the most beneficent of all the most beneficent beneficence, and the beneficence of all the beneficities, and praise be upon him, and peace be upon him, and peace. But what about all the having sex with the little kids? What about that? I know you want to praise and put peace all on his name, but what about the little kids? He was the 9-year-old girl that he had sex with. What about her? When did she get the peace? You understand? What about all those kids that's being abused? So he come home with all of this semen all over his damn clothes, playing with the little boy, like Pan and Michael Jackson. What about them? Did they get the peace too? What about the little boys who you can dress them up as women because they haven't hit puberty yet and pretend like they're girls? You understand? Because it's not really a man and it's not really a homosexuality act because, this isn't a man yet. It's still a boy who hasn't hit puberty. You understand? There's a lot you don't know about that Arab world that the Lord tried to spare you from a wild man. You understand? Esau wasn't castrated. You understand? They castrated slaves, but they routinely castrated young boys and then made them watch the harems that their aunts and mothers and sisters and grandmothers were being sold in. You understand? You don't know these people. You don't know their culture. You don't know their heritage. You don't know their gods. You don't know who is around you. You don't know any of these other nations. God called them the beast of the field. You thinking they like you because you see them every day and you get Starbucks and they get Starbucks. You get McDonald's, they get McDonald's. You are not like them. You don't know who they are. You understand? Muslims quote the Bible instead of the Quran because the Bible is the only relevancy that the Quran pretends to have. Without the Bible to back up what they claim, which is absolute lies in the Quran, because the Arabs have no claim to the Bible. They need the Bible because the Bible has the real power. You understand? Most of the religions of the world is the other nations of people taking things and excerpts from the Bible to put it into something for their people. That's how it started with Adam. That's why he told Adam's sons to never marry the daughters of the other nations of people. And once they did, they start to do terrible things in the earth, and the Lord unalived everybody but 8 people. You understand? It wasn't for no reason. There was a reason he did that. You see what I'm saying? So this is what the Lord said. I'll be against him and his people. I'll set my face against them. All right. Leviticus 20:7. He says, sanctify yourselves, therefore, be ye holy, for I, the Most High, your power, am holy. And you shall keep my statutes and do them. I am the Most High, which sanctify you. For everyone that curseth his mother or father, curse means to punish his mother or father, shall surely be put to death. he hath cursed his father or his mother, his blood shall be upon him. That's what I was just talking about. You aren't allowed to do that. You aren't allowed to punish your mother, your father, pay them back some evil for something they did that you didn't like, whatever. You're not allowed to do that. You're not equal to them. You're not equal to your mother and your father. Equality doesn't exist. That's not real. It's not biblical. That's against the Lord. There is no equality. You're not equal to your parents. Women are not equal to men. The firstborn child, the other children are not equal to the firstborn son. Do you understand? All men are not equal. God and Christ are not equal. Man and Christ are not equal. The angels aren't equal. You understand? All of these things. There's no equality in the real world. You understand? There's no equality amongst animals, no equality. If you get a group of birds together, one bird is going to be in charge. If you get a group of lions, one lion is going to be in charge. If you get a pack of dogs, one dog is going to assume the leadership role. If you get a pack of wolves, one wolf is going to be in charge. There is no equality in real life. That's a joke. It's a fairy tale. That's something you feed a slave so that everyone wants to be individual while the rest of the real world works as a team and wins. You understand? And we lose neighborhood after neighborhood and generation after generation. You understand? So this is what the Lord said. You are not allowed to curse or punish your mother, your father. Your blood is supposed to be shed for that. You aren't allowed to do that. You don't get to grow up. You understand? After 15, 20 years of terrorizing your parents, then you let loose to go terrorize the city. No, 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 no. Uh-uh. Your life gets cut short young. Let them go and make a better child. Let's get rid of this bastard. You understand? Before he grows up and he's out in the street shooting and robbing strangers while he was in the house beating on his damn parents for 15 years. Uh-uh. Drag him out the city, get rid of him, start over, make a new one, make better ones. You aren't allowed to just be a tyrant on a rampage for any reason. You're supposed to act like you got some sense. You aren't allowed to just destroy everyone just because you're young or because you're old or because you're poor or because you're rich. You understand? Like this is what was in the law. All right. Let's see, verse 10. And the man that committeth adultery with another man's wife. Adultery is a man lying down having sex with another man's wife. Even he that committeth adultery with his neighbor, his brother's wife, the adulterer, which is the man, and the adulteress, the woman who he had sex with that already had a husband, shall surely be put to death. And the man that lieth with his father's wife, if he has sex with his father's wife, have uncovered his father's nakedness. You understand? He was not supposed to be with his father's woman. That's his father's woman. Doesn't matter if his father got 2 women, 10 women, 5 women, 1 woman. He is not allowed to have sex with his father's woman. Cannot have sex with your stepmother. I know Esau pushes it and is very popular everywhere and all in Hollywood. You are not allowed to do that. That's a heathen, disgusting heathen culture. Both of them shall surely be put to death. Their blood shall be upon them. That means this is their fault. They're not, when they get stoned for doing this is not your fault. You are required, the city is required to pass the judgment on these two so that everyone else in the city doesn't all go have sex with somebody else's wife. Before you know it, there are no more families. Everybody just having sex with whoever and throw them away. We go on about our business just like a dog. Just like a dog. You ever have dogs, they mate, a bull, a dog, a cow. You understand after he done, he just get up, walk away. She going about her business. That's what animals do. Not allowed to be like an animal. You understand? One of the most holy, separate things unto the Most High that you can do in your life is have sex between a man and a woman. And no one else is supposed to have sex with your woman. She goes, has sex with another man. That man and her, your life is over. You forfeited your life. Everyone is supposed to know that so that no one does it. That's the point. The point is not to just stone everybody. The point is to make sure that nobody wants to do it because it will destroy us as a people. It will disgrace the Most High, disgrace your mother, your father, your husband, your city, and we don't want this. That's the proper spirit. That's the spirit the Lord wanted us to have. Our people didn't get it, so people had to get stoned. You understand? All right. So that's what he said in verse 11. We're going to read a couple more. We're going to end it. We're up over the time. Man with another man's woman, the man that lied with his father's wife, both of them shall be put to death. Okay, if a man lie with his daughter-in-law, any of the children of one of his wives, doesn't matter if it's his daughter, you understand, any of the children of one of his wives, you cannot lie, you cannot have sex with any of your stepdaughters. Both of them shall surely be put to death. They have wrought confusion. That's confusion in the family. You having sex with a woman, then you have sex with her daughter too. That's confusing as hell. Their blood shall be upon them. Heathens do this. They did this in Egypt. You understand? The Lord was separating us. If a man also lie with mankind, if a man lie down with another man, as he lie with a woman, the way he's supposed to lie down with a woman, both of them have committed an abomination. They've done something evil in the eyesight of the Lord and disgraceful. They shall surely be put to death. Their blood shall be upon them. Meaning, when they get put to death, this is their fault, not the fault of the people who are doing the Lord's judgment that he required. You understand? The people are required to keep his laws, the rules of what to do, the statutes, the different level and varying degrees, and the judgments, the punishments for breaking the laws. It's required of the people. Serving the Lord has never been something passive like the Christian church teach. I'm going to just pray about it. We're going to sing and pray for show up and show out and let Jesus take the wheel and let go and let God. Serving God has never been something passive. Serving the Most High was never Jesus take the wheel. That's not the spirit of serving the Most High. Serving the Lord has always been something you did. You understand? It wasn't magic. It wasn't I look up in the sky and wait for a genie. That's not what serving the Lord was ever that. You understand? Christianity makes the Bible magic. This is real. You understand? It's their fault. Their blood shall be upon them. In that day, the priests came and unalived you for committing these acts. Now, the World Health Organization will testify that herpes is going to come and do it for you. Chlamydia and gonorrhea is going to come and destroy your brain and destroy your reproductive organs and destroy your blood. AIDS is going to come and it's going to destroy your body from inside out through your blood. That's what the Lord said. Their blood shall be upon them. And one time the priest would come, so it didn't spread. Now Christ did away with the punishment. So now there is not a priest coming to pass judgment for what you did. Now the Lord is going to do the judgment. All right. Okay. And it says, verse 14, and if a man take a wife and her mother, you cannot marry a woman and her mother. It is wickedness, is evil. They shall be burnt with fire, both he and they, that there be no wickedness amongst you. You cannot have sex with a woman and her mother. You cannot have a threesome. You are going to get set on fire. You, your mother-in-law, and your wife, you're going to be set on fire in front of everybody. It won't be a secret. It won't be pay-per-view. It won't be, it's going to be, everyone is going to know and see. Why? So that nobody else ever does this. You understand? And we'll have perfect generations where nobody has sex, nobody has threesomes. There's no alternative lifestyles. Nobody sneaking off having sex with your woman while you at work. Your woman not going to sneak away and have sex with somebody else because y'all get into an argument or you get another wife. All of these things, the nation will stay in perfect functioning order, and a heathen will never be able to come and exploit the fact that our society is destroyed because we have no rules, no laws, and no God to protect us. All right. Verse 15, and if a man lie with a beast, because the other nations of people, they do lay down and have sex with animals. We went over this before. He shall surely be put to death, and he shall slay the beast. The dog got to go. The gerbil has to pay. The bull, the goat, the sheep, the chicken, the gerbil, they cannot be left alive. They can't. They got to go. Whoever laid down with them, they got to go. You understand? All right. So with that, we're going to go ahead and end that there. All right. Yeah, we're going to end that there, Leviticus chapter 15. Okay. All right. So we're going to wrap that up. Yeah, 9:30. Okay. All right. We're going to do the announcements with that. We're the Israelite School, Universal Practical Knowledge. We start out at 1 West 125th Street in Harlem, New York. We're not affiliated with any other Israelite group. You understand? If you are not in the Isupk, you are not in the truth. Rule for new brother and sister. When a brother and sister comes into the school, they're off limits for 6 months. It'll be saluted only. They're here to learn and share themselves with the world. After this 6-month period, if a brother or sister has a particular interest in any brother or sister, they would get counsel. They would get permission from the head to speak to a brother or sister. After this 6-month period, they will get permission then to marry. Tithes, which is the commandment, 10% of any penny of any increase the Most High gives you. You understand? You give to the school. Go right to isupk.com, pay your tithes, and email you a receipt right to your email. Upcoming holy convocations, we have the closing of the Feast of First Fruits, which is coming up on the 17th, which is going to be next week. Should be like a Monday of next week, the closing of the Feast of First Fruits, the Lord's High Holy Day. All right, make sure you did check the correspondence department, everything. You should have already been reached out to. Make sure you contact whatever ISUPK school and whatever city, state, county, country that you're in. Let them know so you could be there for the Lord's High Holy Day and get into the school. And lastly, if any brother wants to become a trooper in the school, they'll be in all black boots, shirt, pants, headband, war scarf. Contact the ISUPK school, whatever city or state that you're in. You understand? If you're a sister, you cannot be a trooper, but you do need to contact the school. Let them know you want to be a sister in the school. Don't just sit and watch classes online. Contact the school. Let them know so that you can be in order and get exactly whatever you need to do so you can come all the way in and lock into the truth. All right. And with that, we give one courtesy salute to the brothers. Yahweh Shemal Shah Brakatham, to the sisters. Yahweh Shamar Alathun. Ba'ashim Yahweh Shah. With that, tune in right here, Friday night Hebrew language class, Lashawan Kodash. Learn your language. Like, share, and subscribe. Hit that thumbs up. Check out our other videos and series right here on this channel. And with that, class dismissed. The water, y'all. Most High in Christ. Shalom.
Talk to me. Played the horn of Lord and served other gods. Remember the days of old, we the lost tribes. They don't believe the Bible. They say a white man wrote it, but still celebrate them holidays from white men, don't they? Like Christmas and Thanksgiving appetites. I don't even see my closest family half the time. Going out ain't an option, I won't compromise. I got integrity and more heart than Valentine. Kyrie tweeted a book they sell on Amazon, owned by the same folks that told them to apologize. Remember slaves couldn't read, wasn't allowed. So it's meaning when I tell you I'm black and I'm proud. Murdered us with the sword, that's how we learned religion. Community standards violate my First Amendment. Discontinue from my heritage under these bastards. Life a bitch, they make up lies and give you public lashes. I understand they confused by who the devil is. Why my people get so mad when I tell them this? Valley of dry bones, my niggas skeletons. It's hectic out there, hope you checking on your relatives. Brotherhood, that's what my weapon is. And I never let these crackers take it from me. Real talk, you probably never heard this all of your life. Be careful, cause that thing you love, it'll cost you your life. Long as we got each other, my nigga. Cause we build this shit on brotherhood. Long as we got each other, my nigga.
Yeah.
We build this shit.
Nigga, I done lost family, I done lost friends. Day one, niggas thought was riding to the end. Still showed up, put in that work, hide behind behind a smile while I'm walking with this hearse. Some nights I felt alone, most nights I felt cold. Some nights I drove around, I ain't wanna go home. Nigga, I ain't never been, nah, I ain't never fold. Follow orders like a soldier doing what I'm told. Even when the counsel wasn't making any sense, I ain't never doubted, I just put it to the test. Days I was fucked up and down to my last cent. Reaching in my pockets, only coming up with lint. I'm talking even on the days that I couldn't pay my rent. I put it down for my brothers, ain't spared no expense. If I ever got bent, caused an offense, please forgive your brother, Lord, that ain't what I meant. See that brotherhood a weapon, fight against deception. When something taken from you, then it's just a blessing. Shorty really loved me, gave me everything she got. And I'm sorry, baby girl, if I ever broke your heart. Man, mistakes that I made, don't know if they'll fade. Moving with a heavy heart, living with the pain. Take away the shame, wash away the stain. Praying to the Lord for the days that I was Cain. Sheesh.
Long as we got each other, my nigga. Cause we build this shit on brotherhood. Long as we got each other, my nigga. Cause we build this shit on brotherhood.